Hello there, everyone. It's Kathy with Paper Phenomenon. What do we do with our scrap cardstock? I'm going to tell you what I do with it after every single project. This is the scrap cardstock that I have left over for making, look at all this, for making my pages for the Design Options album. This is the National Scrapbook Day project, National Scrapbook Day 2023. I cut all my pages out. I'm left over with all of this scrap paper. This is what I do with it, guys. I cut it down to these sizes here for photo mats, right here. And we're going to do that with this stack. So write this down. You want to have this by you close. This will become second nature to you guys. All right. I wrote it down for your benefit, and I'd like you to write it down as well. So you take this scrap cardstock and you cut it down to this size here. So let's get to it. I don't organize my pile. I don't waste that time doing that. What I do is I take every single one. I already can tell what size a piece of paper is going to be for me, and I don't have to measure it, but you may need to measure it and see where this fits here. All right, so this piece of cardstock is 3 3/4 inches. So it's going to fall within my 3 3/4 inch group of numbers here. So what I do is I start at 3 3/4. And then, so this is technically what I have left over now. And now I'll do 3 3/4. We can do 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, or 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, or 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, or 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So we have many options here. So I'm going to do 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Then I have this, and I can bring this down to 2 1/4. And this is what we have left over from that piece of cardstock. I'm okay with throwing this out. So now we have two great photo mats that fit a 3 by 3 photo and a 2 by 3 photo. Now you start making little piles. All right. This is where you start organizing or sorting things, I would say. So this is 5 1/8 by 6 1/4. So that's going to be my biggest photo mat, 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is what we have left over. Again, we're going to start now sorting. Let's do a quick measurement. This is a perfect 3 1/4. So I have lots of options for this. The 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. We'll do one more at 4 1/4 because these are perfect for 3 by 4s. And then we have this 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And look at this. Look at what we have left here. This is so wonderful from that pile. So try not to put big pieces of cardstock like this away because it takes up a lot of space. You want to cut it down to this size and just work from there, guys. All right, so here I can do 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And you'll see you'll start getting the hang of it. I'm going to break this one down all the way down to nothing, and I'm going to cut away, and you'll see what we have left over from this giant pile. So let's get to it. Guys, as you can see, I have been making the sizes, cutting everything down to the sizes we have here. So far, we've got, and this is where we get a little more advanced, okay? So far, here are the piles of photo mats. All right, so this is what I have so far from our list here. Now, because I've been doing this for years, I have a lot of these, right? A lot. A lot of these photo mats cut to size. So what I like to do is after I cut a few of those, where I can get my good 4x6s out of here. This one actually is very good. So my 4x6s are my go-to. These, the 4¼ by 6¼. And I say 4x6 because that's the size of the photo. So forgive me if that's confusing. All right. But for the smaller ones, I have quite a bit of photo mats already cut. So what I like to do is, I'm going to show you. I don't know if you probably see, you've definitely seen me do this, especially if you follow me in my classes. So I always kind of thumb through, and then I take out what's possible, what's 4x6 possibilities, right? Or 4¼ by 6¼ possibilities. And I cut those up. I don't put them to the side, I cut them up. But I want to show you guys something. Stop it. So what I do is, I take these pieces and I start scoring. Instead of, so this is 3¾ inches by 12. So I start scoring at the sizes that I have here. All right, so here we have 4¼ by 3¼ So although this is 3¾ inches, this will give me a great, let's get a photo mat here. This is the photo size, 4x3, right? Pocket card size. This would give me a great opportunity for a pocket card, right? So I would score at 4¼ instead of cutting, right? And then an opportunity for paper here. So here you would make interactive photo mats, okay? And then I would do another 4¼ which would be at 8½. But here you have to think a little bit more. And then I would do a little bit more because I wanted to nest properly. And then that would be this here. And check this out, guys. You have room for a 3x3 photo. Okay, so how fun would this be? So you have room for a 3x3 photo. You have room for 3x4, 3x4, or a pocket card and a 3x4, and you can decorate with pattern paper on either side. Okay, so I would put this up here, then pattern paper here, right? And then photo, pattern paper. So you can do things like this. Now this requires a little bit more thought process. All right, but I just wanted you to know that after you do this for a while, you tend to accumulate a lot of photo mats, right? Although I try to stuff my albums with as much as I possibly can, but you get the idea, right? You get the idea. So having said this, you can make a few of these and still put them in your photo mat organizational thing. And I'll show you what I do with mine. Excuse me. But I just wanted to give you a little food for thought. All right. So here you can do 2 3x3 photos. And I jacked up my photo mat here. Let's see. So this is 3x3. Or you can do 3x4s. It's up to you guys. So you want to stay within the parameters that I gave you here. So I would score here at 6¼ right? So I can have my 3x3s like so. And then this would be just another folded up side, and then I could do a 3x4 on the inside. I would do this, see? And I would trim this down just a little bit more. Excuse me. Just so I can get my spacing right. So I do that. And this one of these needs to be trimmed down a little bit more. There we go. So you just want to stay within these parameters, even in this. Even if you are scoring instead of just cutting, right? Even if you're creating a little interactive element. And then here you can put a 3x4, pocket card photo, whatever you want. And then paper on these two sides. So these could be cut lines or score lines, depending on what you want to do. All right. And when you sort them, this would go in your 6 1/4 inch pile. This one would go in your 4 1/4 inch pile. So they all tend to stay within the same filing system, if you will, or organizational system, but you have some interactive and some flats. Let's call these flats, right? So that's what you can do with all of this cardstock. So I'm going to continue. Cue the music. right, let's see what we have, what we've got, guys. All right, so we're going to look at our scrap pile, which I am absolutely okay with tossing. So check out all of the photo mats that we have here from that pile of what seems like an endless pile, right? When you really think about it, because that's what you tend to put away, and it gets quite overwhelming. So there are your sizes. And now, and I did just a few interactive embellishments, but still, again, within the same size. So this would go here in your 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'll put them under here so they can stay. Then I did things like this, but still within the same size, right? See that? That goes right there. This one here, but still within the same size or height, however you want to think about it, right? So this one would go here, because I don't like different heights of things. It makes me nuts. All right, so that would go there. And once you put them away, they won't do that anymore. So I'm just going to put things behind. So it won't make me nuts. So that will go here. See, so you want to keep all the same heights together. And you have all these fun interactive embellishments. Whichever way you want to put this one doesn't really matter. I really love the accordions best. And this one will go, this one can go here. Nope, this one would go, where would this one go? What is this? Oh, this one would go here. My bad. There. This one would go here. This one would go here. And then when you put everything away, you have this really great pile of things to create with for your albums. Right? So this is what we got. All of these photo mats, guys. And where I put these away in containers like these right here. All right, and I have plenty, but you know, you can start off with a small one if you want to. I have 2 containers like this, but again, I make a lot of mini albums, so and I put them away in containers like this, and then I pick and choose. I pick and choose what I need when I'm making a mini album, and I don't really have to think about it because this is my go-to container. And I would probably start off with a smaller one because that would make me nuts. Or you can rubber band each individual pile. So I'm just going to put them like that for now. Okay, but as you can see, I will sort them. Now here is what we have left from this pile here. From that pile that we had. All of these teeny tiny scraps. And because I'm currently working on a mini album, I will take all of these long pieces out. Because they're good for matting, I don't know, little embellishments. I mean, making circles. But if I'm done with a mini album, I throw this in the trash. I do not save this because, I mean, really, when do we stop, guys, right? When do we stop saving things? But you can do what you want with your pile, right? So I take these out if I can have circles, right? Because I make closures. And who knows, I may need something, right? I may need a little piece of scrap cardstock. I may need a hinge or something. I can cut that. But anything under 2 inches, I get rid of. Anything under 2 inches, I get rid of. And this is under 2 inches. So this goes in the trash. And we are done with our little project. And because I'm still working on that project, I'll dump this in here. And this would be my go-to for photo mats or scrap pieces of paper. And I have nice organization and my desk is not a hot mess. All right, guys, that's what I do with my scraps when I'm done cutting a mini album, pages for a mini album. If you love what you see on this channel, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment with any questions. I'm happy to answer them, and please subscribe to my channel if you are not yet a subscriber. This is Kathy with Paper Phenomenon, and until next time.